market. So what you need to remember is momentum candles, large bodies, small wicks. Long wick candles, long wick to the bottom, small body at the top, is a bullish sign telling you price is likely to head higher, especially if it happens at the bottom of a pullback or the top of a swing, or the bottom of a swing low, like we have right here, which would be an insinuation of a reversal. If we have a market pushing low, pushing low, pushing low, and then we have the comeback kid right here, then that's telling you that the bulls could take over from that point. Now, let's take a look at a bearish example of this. By the way, the color of the candle, in case you were wondering, does not matter. This being a red candle, as long as we have that long wick to the bottom, still insinuates buying pressure. So let's take a look at a bearish version of that real quick. So still here on the daily chart of Amazon, you can see right here we have a candle, and the psychology yet again behind this one is the open was the top of the body of this candle. Bulls took control from the beginning, but the bears ended up being the comeback kid and winning the round overall by pushing the market really close to the low before the candle eventually closed bearish in this case. So that's an example of a bearish version of a long wick candle and the psychology behind it. Next up, we're taking a look at indecision candles. You've probably heard of them called dojis. After this section, we're going to be talking about very specific rules for 3 candlestick patterns that I have found to be the most powerful candlestick patterns to incorporate into. Let's take a look at indecision candles right now. Here we are on the daily chart of the Euro New Zealand, and what you see on this chart is an indecision candle. What these look like is they have, no matter the size of the wick or the bodies of this candle, they have similar wicks to the top and to the body with a small body. If that's the case, and I said no matter the size of the body does need to be small, but all we're looking for, no matter how big the wicks are that they are similar in size. And what this represents is kind of like a tie in terms of the round of boxing. You're looking at a match where the opening bell happens, and then bulls push up, bears push down, but by the end of the round, they're at about break even. They've landed just as many punches. So that's what an indecision candle looks like. There's not really a bearish and bullish example of that. It looks the same both ways other than the color, but they don't really represent any kind of momentum coming in the market. If anything, they represent indecision, as I said earlier. So that's the psychology behind candlesticks and how we can use wicks and bodies to help us determine what the next move out of price may be. Now, let's jump into 3 of the most powerful candlestick patterns that I have found. Candlesticks worth trading. I'll see you there.
Hello, guys.
Let's talk about what a candlestick pattern is. A candlestick pattern is just a candlestick that forms in a very specific way that we can identify on the chart and use to our advantage in terms of helping us determine the trend of a specific market, helping us determine market sentiment as in the direction of a market's likely to go, and help us with set in stone rules for entries into our strategies, along with many other purposes, but those are the main 3 purposes that I use candlestick patterns for. So with that said, let's dive into what I consider the 3 most powerful candlestick patterns for any financial market. But before we do that, if right now you know more about candlestick patterns and candlesticks in general than you did before watching this video, it would mean a lot if you go ahead and give this video a like. Let's dive into learning more about these 3 candlestick patterns. The first one is called the 382 candle or 38.2% candle, and you're going to understand why in a second. You may be looking at these going, man, Steven, a hammer or a tweezer top, and that looks a lot like a shooting star. Why are you calling it a 38.2% candle? Because the name of the candlestick pattern